first, let's get right into it with the Court of Oryx stuff. Sean, what did you think?
So Bungie had their third and final like pre-Taken King live stream reveal, and they had Laced Up Lauren, and they showed us like Court of Oryx, which is their new sort of public event-driven event that happens in the Dreadnought, and I actually thought it was pretty cool. It's really interesting, right? Like public events kind of before in Destiny were just things that you ran across in the world, and they were pretty easy and presented not much reward. Looks like Bungie's trying to change all of that with Court of Oryx. You have the ability to activate these with your fire team by using a rune that's kind of a consumable. There's 3 different tiers, and increasingly difficult tiers yield better rewards, and they present all sorts of new mechanics and different types of enemies. It's going to be really kind of interesting, and it's going to be a fresh look on what public events are supposed to be.
Yeah, you kind of like quarter up. You know, like you put in the rune if you get there first, and then you trigger this event, and some of the stuff we saw was like 3 witches come out, and you have to damage them all until they're like almost dead, and then kill them all at the same time, for example.
Yeah, that was one of the really unique, cool mechanics that we've seen that the Guardians had to face that we haven't seen before in public events. You can plan. There's probably a lot more different ones like that.
Yeah, there was a cool one where there was 2 knights?
Yeah.
And then they both had an indestructible shield unless they were close to each other to when it depleted the shields, and then you can start taking them down. Which is
so there was also
cool.
there was also the ogre one where you had to like blow up the thralls to drop his shield, and then you DPS him. Which was your favorite? Oh, and then there was the Cabal one where you had to kill all his minions and then damage him.
Right.
Yeah.
I really like the witch one. Just because, like, witches, whatever they're called, wizards.
Like, they're wizards.
I call them
witches.
wizards. I call them wizards
Why do we
too
call
often.
them? I don't know. It's
Witches and wizards, Harry Potter.
Yeah, they're the same. They're the same thing. Enemy type. That was my favorite, just because like those are always the toughest enemy to fight. Like if you get caught in their like volley of sort of like arc damage or whatever, you just get wrecked.
Yeah.
And,
along with their little poison.
Yeah, their
effect.
poison cloud that like slows you down and like
So
makes you feel
frustrating.
like. Even if it doesn't do all that much damage, it feels like your world is ending when you're caught in that, right? I like fighting against those because I find them difficult, and to have to deal with 2 of them at the same time was really cool.
Yeah. What about you?
I thought it was great. Like I was saying with the 2 knights with the shields, that's a mechanic I don't think we've seen in the game yet.
Yeah.
So it's going to be great to see how that actually works out.
Yeah. I like the Cabal one, mostly footage reasons, because they were like down to like 0 seconds and they dropped him. I was like, oh, that was intense.
That was pretty cool.
I hope there's a lot more moments like that in the Court of Oryx.
It seemed pretty intense. Like, we didn't get to see what Tier 3 Court of Oryx looks like. I just imagine it's even more intense than what we saw on the stream.
Yeah, so Tier 1 was you fight one boss, you kill him, he's at a lower level. Tier 2 was you fight 2 bosses that are a little more powerful, and then you kill them. Do we think that Tier 3 is just going to be like, fight 3 bosses, I guess, and they're really strong?
It'll be Atheon.
Taking Atheon.
Atheon jumps out.
Atheon and Crota.
They'll be taking Atheon.
Yeah.
Taking Atheon and then follow up Crota, where you have to steal his sword
Well,
from
if
him.
his son's still alive,
And
why is
then
he so
hit him.
mad?
He teleports you to Venus. This time
Yeah.
you're just like, what? How do I even, do I go to orbit? Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be
that
pretty
would
fun.
that would be awesome. I'm interested in just like what the reward tier looks like from that, because Court of Oryx does seem to be like a focal point for what they're focusing on in the Dreadnought, and it's like I really hope it just doesn't end up petering out like public events did in vanilla Destiny, which is like everyone's super stoked at the very beginning and like really interested in participating, and then once we realize like the rewards aren't that good and they're not that interesting, and like
it's a good way to farm marks. So
They are.
okay,
They were
cool.
good like from like level 1 to 20, but once you start getting 25 to 30, and you're just like, oh, Fallen Walker, cool.
Yeah,
And
and
you
I-
just keep going,
Nuke.
just go
Yeah.
past them. It's like whenever like a Fallen like House of Wolves Fallen guys.
No,
come
you know what
in,
I'll do?
You just
I'll-
leave the.
Yeah.
I'll take like one shot and be like, I'll let the low guys get.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
Yeah,
I'll still get the gold
free
tier once
marks.
they finish it.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever not gold tiered a public event? Because
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't think
Yeah,
of
I
one.
mean when you were low level.
When you're low level,
Oh,
you,
see, I can't even when I was low leveled, I don't even think I ever.
you probably didn't get a kill the target at a low level because like.
Oh, that's true.
'cause
Those are still
they
kind of
just you need to Galahorn them or like have a really good shotgun to take them
because
down.
they run away.
Yeah, and they're running the whole time,
And
so you can't really
like
get close.
you can't sprint and reload at the same time, which is dumb.
Yeah, I think those are like the worst encounters to experience, but most of the other ones are pretty fun. I really like the Fallen Walker events.
I like those because it's just like shoot them as fast as you can. It's
Yeah,
not
right.
even gonna move.
Yeah. So, do we feel like that the Court of Oryx is something to be excited about? That's the question I have down on the paper.
Depends on the loot. They didn't show us the loot that they got from the chest.
Yeah, well,
they kind of
they showed
ignored
one
that.
drop, I think, but it wasn't
from tier 1, right?
Yeah, from tier 1. It wasn't anything great that I remember. Like nobody was like, oh,
yeah,
great.
I wouldn't expect tier 1 to really even be that good though, right? It's just a tease until the next tier and then the next tier, and I think tier 3 is really where we're gonna see the legendary or possible exotic drops.
Tier 1 is like 28 PoE. Like you do it so that you can just like farm it.
Yeah,
and, like
and I think
matchmaking.
tier 3 is the hard one.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's as hard as Skolas.
I'm excited for it because of the new mechanics type thing. Like I really want to see Bungie's innovation in, as far as like how they make mobs and NPC or like enemy NPCs work together, and how Guardians are gonna have to figure out the puzzles to beat them. Like I love the idea of shared health, or not shared health, but like you have to kill each one of these witches out of the 3 at the same time, or like they'll revive each other type thing. I think we could use a lot more of that in Destiny in boss encounters as well, and I think that this is a good step in the right direction to see that Bungie's thinking about that. So I'm excited for that part.
I really, really like the gameplay. The idea of triggering a public event or boss is great because you can just go there and
we don't have
get
to sit
it out
around
of the
in
way.
the Court of Oryx and wait for them to spawn.
Yeah, it's like right now what I do when I'm patrolling, I'm just like, all right, I know because of DestinyPublicEvents.com, like I'm gonna go sit here and wait for this public event to happen. All right, it happened. Where's the next one? 2 minutes. Okay, maybe I'll make it. All right, it didn't trigger. I'll go wait 8 minutes in this other spot. This way, you just have you put your rune in and it happens, and you get your goodies right away.
Right. And you can collect runes. You pointed this out, but you can collect runes kind of just anywhere in the Dreadnought by doing most things.
Yeah,
most things. Right?
It seems like you get it from these public events. Like there was a circle there, and they triggered it. Then all the Fault Taken came out. And they killed them all, and then they got the rune, and then they brought it to the Court of Oryx. My concern is what's going to happen when there's like 30 people at the Court of Oryx all trying to trigger this public event to get the
so
reward.
There was some discussion about this in the office just during the stream, but is the speculation here that it's going to be instanced? Like that seems to be the way that
go
they would
into the Court of Oryx, and then
like how when
with a fire team.
How like when you're doing a strike or something, there are some strikes where you enter a public area and you see other people, and it's it's part of the strike, but there's something there that other Guardians can see, and it's like it's instanced, right? Like you're still within that sort of single server instance with just your fire team. I think that's probably how it would work.
Like in any world, though, there's like 20 to 30 people in that world, like just in a public space.
Can they really call it a public event if it's instanced?
I mean, I think you could still call it that, whether or not it's actually public.
My concern is like, what if you can't trigger the thing? Because like you can't trigger 30 of them at the same time. It's like one person at a time, like from what we saw on the stream. And then there was also like a cooldown timer after they completed it, so you couldn't just like keep getting the reward for it.
Yeah. I mean, I'd have to watch the video again, but I don't recall there ever being a point before they enter that area, or like after the Hall of Souls, but before they enter the Court of Oryx, whether or not you see like them enter a no respawn only
Darkness Zone.
Yeah, Darkness Zone, which is a big hint that it's an instanced area. I'd have to rewatch the video to confirm that, but like I think that's how I mean, to me that seems the smart way to do it, right? So that you don't have like 30 teams of 3 like all waiting in line to kind of like get their,
Would they be waiting in line, or would they would just be helping out?
No,
at that
you'd
point,
help.
Be?
So that like, all right, let's get this guy done faster. And
my assumption is that it's just going to be like
Guardians
a
never help; they just troll.
Yeah.
No, people always help during public events, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's
I think if we spawn with other people, I think it's just going to be like any normal public event where they can just take part.
I know I'd help out. Like, okay, this guy just triggered it. They're in the middle of it. Let's just help him drop these.
The loot. You want the loot.
Dumb knights, and
They might just be smart about how many people they allow to spawn in an area at a specific time.
It's going to be interesting. I wonder if this is going to be like tons of people just doing this. Probably at the beginning. I think it'll peter out later. But like when it launches, like everybody's going to want to try out Court of Oryx. Everybody's going to be exploring the Dreadnought.
It's just like with the Fallen Wolves. That's
Oh yeah, like everybody was doing that. Yeah. It was cool. I liked it.